Hi friend, I'm so glad that you've joined me today for another day of watercolor play. I just love the beauty and gentleness and the magic of watercolors and the dance that they make. And I'm so glad that you're here to enjoy this journey with me. Now in a previous video, I walked through creating a watercolor chart like this, with only 3 primary paints: Winsor Newton Transparent Yellow PY150, Winsor Newton Quinacridone Magenta PR122, and Winsor Newton Phthalo Blue Green Shade PB153. And just using those 3 paints, we created all these beautiful colors. And we were only mixing 2 paints at a time, the yellow with the magenta with the cyan, and the cyan with the yellow. And we created all these lovely colors. But as you can imagine, things get even more interesting when we mix all 3 of these colors in different quantities. I want to show you here, friends, a little chart I made. Now this line up here, every other line is just the 2 colors. So this is the yellow and the magenta. So you can see we started with the yellow, getting closer to the magenta, and then skip a line. We have magenta mixed with the cyan, and then skip a line, cyan mixed with the yellow. These other ones here, here, and here, these are the 3 different colors mixed together, and you can see they're more neutralized. They tend to be darker, less vibrant, but they still create some beautiful neutrals. You can see we have some neutral orangey browns, some nice neutral red maroon colors here, some plum colors, some dark indigo colors, a dark blue gray. Down here we have another gray, some lovely dark greens, and a couple of browns. There are so many more options, friends. This was just a small, quick little example sheet that I made. We're not going to be doing this exactly. We're going to do something much more relaxed like we did before. Matter of fact, I'm going to take this exact same sheet that we worked on the other day, and I'm just going to flip it over and use the other side. And we're going to use the other, I'm going to use the other side. You can pull out a fresh sheet of paper if you want, or use the other side of your paper that you practiced on. Whatever makes your heart happy. I'm still using the same materials. We're still using the Canson watercolor paper, 9x12. I'm still using my Princeton Heritage 4050 series. This is a round 3 brush. It's my favorite mixing brush. I've still got 2 jars of water, one for my dirty water and one for my clean water. I have my same palette here that we used for our color mixing before. And I also have this little palette that I was using for some different color mixing. Now this one I already kind of have, I've already mixed some of the different colors in. So like this dark green here has like all 3 colors in it. And so I might be pulling in there. We'll see what happens. We're just gonna kind of go with the flow, but I'm actually gonna start with, I did a little painting here. So I'm gonna clean off my inside so we can see what we really have. I just use a little bit of water for my pipette and a paper towel. And see how easy that just comes up? Super easy. Plastic is much harder. It tends to stain. The paint stain the plastic. But ceramic or porcelain palettes just get really clean. It's just like kind of doing dishes. You're just cleaning the plate. And I do want to say, don't, if you are using just a regular plate, like a regular white plate for your palette, that's totally fine. I did that in the beginning too. But don't use it to eat off of again. Once you've put paint on it, please take good care of yourself and do not use that paint. Do not use that plate to eat. that is now your painting plate. So just a little heads up there. And so now we have this nice, clean, big center mixing well. And you saw how easy that was to just clean up. So I'm going to grab my number 3 brush. I'm going to dip it in some water, swirl it around so it's wet. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I need to wake up my watercolors. Let me grab some clean water, and I'm just going to do a little bit of water in all of, ran out, a little bit of water in all of these, a little extra in the primary spots. There we go. All right, now that my colors are awake, I always like to start with showing my primaries again, so that way I know exactly what paints I'm using, so that way when I'm looking at this reference sheet later, I'm not wondering, what did I do here? So I'm just going to do a little quick swatch, clean my brush off, paper towel, clean water, going into my magenta. Might need to get a little more magenta out. We'll see what happens. A little quick swatch of my magenta. Get a little bit in there. Okay, clean the brush, paper towel. All right, fresh water. Now we're gonna go into our cyan. It's gorgeous cyan color. And we're just gonna put a little bit down on the paper like that. Okay, I'm cleaning my brush off in my dirty water. Paper towel. Okay, now I'm going to write, because I have these written down on the other side, I'm just going to do the pigments because I know which paints I'm doing. You can write the whole paint names down if you want and you're still learning them. This is PY 150 Winsor Newton Transparent Yellow. This is PR 122 Winsor Newton Quinacridone Magenta. And this is PB, make that a little darker, 15:3. That's Winsor Phthalo Blue, green shade. Okay, so now that I've got those swatched, I know what paints I'm using. Let's get right into mixing. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, friends, is earlier when we made this beautiful these beautiful colors, I already kind of mixed some, this is some of the yellow with a little bit of magenta, mostly yellow with just a little bit of magenta, and it makes a really nice gold color. So I'm just going to take some of this lovely gold color and put it in here. Now what I want to show you first are the greens, because I mentioned before that the phthalo blue green shade makes unrealistic greens. I can show you again here. Actually, it's on this paper. They're really vibrant and bright, and they're really pretty, but they're not very realistic. In real life, most greens have more of a neutralized look. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some of this turquoise, sorry for the shake there, some of this turquoise color, and I'm going to put it in here. Okay, and I've got a little bit of this turquoise on my brush, and I'm just going to put it right into this gold. Now we're just going to swatch it. So you can see it's still relatively bright. It's not too dark because there's not that much magenta. It's mostly the yellow and the cyan. I'm going to clean my brush off. And I'm going to get some clean water. And now I'm actually going to go directly into my magenta and just put a little bit here. And I'm going to put some magenta with here. And look at it, totally neutralized it. And now we have this gray color. You might be thinking, whoa, what happened to the green? Well, we can just grab some turquoise and bring it back in. And now I have a sort of bluish gray color, but I feel like I need more yellow. So I'm going to clean my brush off. And I'm going to come in and I'm just going to get some more of this yellow directly in here. And I'm going to put some of this yellow right in here. Whoa, look at that, brightened it right back up. See that? Now I'm going to take a little bit of this red and put it in here. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting more of an olive tone. See that, friends? Got a more olive tone. And I just realized I forgot to turn on this light for you guys. I'm sorry, friends. That might be a little better to see now. I'm going to make this a little bluer, so I'm taking some of my turquoise color and mixing it back in. Ooh, that's nice. This is a really good leafy natural type of a green, I think. This last one here. Let's see, let's make it even a little more blue leaning, but I feel like I need more magenta too. Really similar. Let's do more of this. That's nice. Let me move this over so you can see again, friends. So you can see this one's a little more of a, this is very browny olive tone. This is a little more yellow green. This one's slightly more bluish green. Well, I mean, still mid green. It's not totally blue, but I'm going to put some of this in here. And I just want to see what happens when I do this. Ooh, I like that. This one reminds me of like eucalyptus. It's a softer blue-green. That's lovely. And then maybe we'll add a little more yellow. Wow, that's so strong. This yellow is so strong. Let's see. I feel like I'm gonna go right into my cyan and put it right in here. Now I'm gonna clean off my brush and I'm gonna get some more magenta. There we go. So now we have all three primaries on the plate. So you've got yellow, magenta, and cyan. I'm going to take, there's some magenta on my brush, and I'm going to put it here. I'm going to take some of the cyan, and look at, I made a purple, violet. I'm going to take some of this yellow and see what happens. Look at that, friends. It's a muted, warm, dusty pink kind of color. I think that's kind of pretty. I think these muted colors are kind of in vogue right now. I see them everywhere. So this muted pink is a really nice, pretty color. I think I'm going to add a little more of this cyan. Make it a little more purple leaning. Now I want a little more magenta in it. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty. Now let's get a little more yellow in here. Let's see what happens. Maybe a tad more magenta. Now we have a more brown color here. So you can see these nice soft neutrals. So, you know, if you're looking at the three primaries and you're like, those are too bright, that's not my style, you know, I don't like that. Well, you can always neutralize them. It's really easy to neutralize your paints And but if you start off with a really neutral paint, you're not going to be able to get the bright paint if you ever want it. But if you're only ever going to paint with neutrals, that's fine too. You can get neutral paints if that's what makes you happy, because painting is all about just doing what makes you happy. Let's see, I added some more blue and that really made this a cooler brown. Right here. And I'm going to do some more yellow. I need more red. More yellow. As you can see, this is just sort of play. I'm not being really precise here. Let me clean my brush off real quick and I'll show you the last swatch I just made. So I just made this one. So you can see these lovely neutral tones. They're very soft and gentle. I'm really liking how this soft blue color came out. I'm loving how the eucalyptus dried. I look at these dusty pinks and violets and some of these soft browns. Really lovely. I'm going to move this over just slightly so I can move my paper over a tiny bit. Okay, let's see. I think I need some more yellow. So I'm going to go in with my clean brush. And just stick some yellow on there. So I'm going to put this in here. And you'll see this will make a more neutralized golden color. I'll show you here. And you'll see when it dries too that it'll be more neutral. Let's get some more of the magenta in here. Make it more of a neutralized orange color. There we go. This is the one we just did right here. It's neutralized orange. You can see that how it looks different with the yellow. This one has a slightly green tinge to it, and this one has more of that orange. And you can see. Make sure when you're painting, mixing, I'm going to clean my brush off. Make sure when you're mixing that you look at what the paint appears when it's dry, because paint looks different when it's wet and when it's dry. So when you're mixing, especially you're doing the neutrals, always look at what does this look like when it's dry, because that is going to have a big impact on your final result. So having a sheet like this that you've already made the swatches, you've already been playing around with the colors, and you kind of know, okay, these are the 3 colors I used. I mixed in a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You can know how to make those colors. And as you can see, I'm not being really precise. I'm not going in any order. I'm just kind of playing and mixing and seeing what happens. And the more that you do this, the more of the feel that you'll have. You'll just kind of know you need a little bit more of this color, a little more of that. Right now, I think I need more magenta. So I'm going to go ahead and add in some more magenta here. I'm just going to put this here. And now we're going to have a little bit of a reddish color. I'm going to add a little bit of the blue. Do a little more magenta in here. Nice. think I'm running out of blue. I think I need to get more. Clean brush. So I always clean my brush out in the dirty water. Dry it off with a paper towel. Then I go into my clean water. Dab, dab. Okay, a little bit of blue here. Let's see. Let's do some blue. Take a little bit of yellow. And see, now we've got that bright green, because that's pretty much just the blue and the yellow. But it's like, oh, well, I want that neutralized. So I'm going to grab some magenta and bring it in. And look at that. It just, like magic, made it a darker, more neutralized green. Ooh, I love this color. Wow. Can you see that, friends? Look at that. And you can see I'm just dabbing in some extra color to show the darker values here. Wow, friends. Let's just take a minute and enjoy that. Wow. That is a beautiful green. I like it a lot. But let's warm it up just a little. Take a little bit of yellow. Now it's too bright again. I'm going to get some more red, more magenta. Ooh, that's nice. That's really pretty. So now you can see really well the contrast between this one's a bluer green, there's more blue in this one's yellow, more yellow green. Really pretty though. Look at all these beautiful neutrals we're making, friends. Wow. I hope you're having fun. I hope you're enjoying just mixing all the different colors. What should we do next, friend? I know, let's see if we can make some grays. So I find if I do some blue and some yellow and some magenta, look at that. This is, I would say, kind of a sepia color. It's like a warmer gray brown. This would be really fun for maybe branches, winter tree landscapes. You can't see that, can you, friend? There's our sepia color. Can you see there's some green undertones, but there's also that cooler undertone in there. Let's see what else we can mix. I think I'm going to do a little more blue. Okay, and so this one you can see is much bluer than that one, much more green leaning, right? These neutrals really make a big difference when you compare them next to each other. I'm going to add a little bit of magenta to this. So there we go. See, look at these nice grays. You know, when I first started painting, I just wanted all the bright colors. I didn't really appreciate the neutral colors very much, but as I've practiced mixing more colors, I've grown to see the soft space that neutrals can give, especially when you have those really bright, vivid colors. Sometimes you just need a place for your eyes to rest. You need that white space, but you also need some neutral colors to just kind of give you a exhale, you know? Not everything has to be bright and grabbing our attention all the time. I need more yellow, so I'm going to add some more yellow in. And I'm going to grab a little more blue. Now I'm going to grab some magenta. I think I want a little more blue, cyan. I want more magenta now. Now we're getting to a pretty neutral gray-black color. Can you see that, friends? Let's swatch it. Oh, wow. Yep. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a small spot right here. If you have a larger space of paint on the paper, it's going to naturally kind of spread gently. But if you have a smaller space and you pile up more of the pigment in there, it's going to be darker because there's less paper to cover. And so the pigment can kind of pool up in a space. So when it dries, we'll see this will be a darker and this will be a lighter. But you see how we made this almost black, friends? I'm cleaning my brush off in my dirty water. I'm going to lift this up so I can show you. Do you see that, friend? So you can make all these beautiful neutral colors. Very lovely. I think I'm going to place some more. I think I want more magenta. I love my magenta. This is my, probably one of my most favorite paints ever. I love my magenta. It just makes me so happy, this beautiful pink color. And I need a little more water in it. I might need more paint, but I don't think I'm going to add it this session. I might save that for another session because we're getting towards the end of this painting playtime. So, all right, I got a lot of magenta there, and I want to do some dark red type colors. So I'm going to do this. So we have slightly neutralized magenta, and I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to this. See how that's just a tiny bit warmer? Now my yellow's not perfectly clean. There's a little bit of blue in there making it kind of a green, and that's okay. Not to mention what's on the palette underneath. If I scrub it a little harder, it'll kind of come up and get into the mix. See that? Look at this. Now we have a nice maroon color. I'm going to add a little more yellow to this. More magenta. Let's see. Let's do a little more. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry, friend. Let me move that over. So we started off with these dulled down magentas, and then I added some yellow to make it more of a warmer, dulled red browns. Now this one's a little bit like a dulled orangey golden brown. You can see our gray. This really looks like a neutral gray here. And this is almost black on that bottom part there. Let's see. Let's add in some blue. And look, friends, we made it brown. just kind of going with whatever I feel like doing, just kind of mixing these different colors. You know, maybe we'll do some of this green, change it up. More of a darker neutralized green and see what happens. I'm going to show you this, friends. See these nice neutrals we've got here? Wow. World of neutral colors. And now I wasn't using a lot of paint. As you can see, I was just taking little bits and there was more water sometimes because I was doing the softer neutrals, but you can definitely make much darker neutrals if you were to take more of the fresh paint and mix it together. You can have really deep dark neutrals if you want, and that's totally fine. It's your magic painting time. Do what you enjoy. But here are just a few of the beautiful colors and neutrals that you can make, friends. What colors did you make? I hope they made you smile. I hope that your breath was taken away in awe and wonder at all the beautiful magic that happens with watercolor. Thank you so much for joining me on this time of gentle watercolor play. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a beautiful day, my friend.